This is Billy J. I am a pinstriper, custom painter, sign letter, restorer. Started my business in the fall of 1977. Been very fortunate in doing a lot of nice, neat, cool cars, motorcycles. This is one of my specialties here. This was kind of wow, being a Shelby guy, I've had several Shelbys. I own one now, and getting to redo all the paint and put the lettering and everything on this Shelby Indy Turbine car was pretty special. Completely painted, all the number circles, ovals lettered. Here I'm pinstriping the outer part of the circle, and then I will put the number on later. Shelby had entered 2 turbine cars for 1968. Shelby had won all the road racing. I mean, literally B production champion and SECA in 65, 6, and 7. Became the only U.S. manufacturer that won the world's championship. It's called the World Manufacturers Championship in 1965. And then in 1966 and 67, won Le Mans 2 years in a row in GT40s. So 68, to add new icing on the cake, so to speak, Shelby entered 2 turbine cars, which were the similar chassis to what Parnelli Jones raced in 67. But these cars had a completely different engine. It had 1,325 horsepower. Which was substantial. I mean, it had 800 pounds of torque. It was phenomenal. All-wheel drive, inboard disc brakes, and to top it all, he picked 2 Formula One champion drivers that had never run at Indy, but they were the best drivers basically in the world, Bruce McLaren and Denny Hulme. To run these cars. The one car, which was done by somebody else, was gold with blue. This one was blue with gold. So here, of course, you can see my my hairline, but for some reason the camera, there we go. I'm doing the shading on the word Shelby. Everything was hand lettered. I completely hand lettered all this car. This is at my shop located in New Palestine, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. And I mean, the car was just beautiful. There you see the number, which is ironic because I own a 69 Shelby, but this number was 69 on this car. The gold car was number 66, and that's the one Bruce McLaren drove. You see the picture there on top of the car. Of the original lettering of how when the guy bought the car, that was the original lettering, an image of that. So I had a perfect example of how to copy. And that's basically what I do. I can copy and duplicate anything. I make a pattern, as you can see there, and trace that on and then hand letter it just as they did originally. They didn't use decals back then. The Botany 500 was hand lettered on. So this was pretty cool to do this car. Here we're outside at an airport showing 2 extremely rare cars, both of which never really got off the ground, so to speak. The Shelby in the background was the only one that they made. They were going to make a production run of 200 of these Boss 302 Shelbys. They only made one. This was the pilot car for the program. Shelby resigned from Ford 9 days after that car was built. So it never really got off the ground. When he resigned from Ford Motor Company, anything with his name on it went with him. That's a direct quote. Shelby gave me a 34-minute phone conversation one night and told me why he resigned from Ford, and it was basically because of Bunky Knudsen. Hated his guts and was going to fire him because the boss program was Bunky's baby, as Carroll Shelby explained. And he goes, I knew who was going to lose, and Ford didn't need in-house competition. And so between the Shelby program and the boss program, so Shelby resigned, and when he did, he said, I owned my name, and anything with my name on it went with me. So that ended that career. This turbine car was phenomenal. It was beyond anything that was running out the track. It had 1,300 horsepower, 800 pounds of torque. Unlike Parnelli's car that had a gearbox, the Indy Turbine car was direct drive. So when you push the throttle, it went. And it got out on the track and just absolutely went so incredibly fast, being all-wheel drive. USAC pulled him back into the pits and inspected the car and made them put restrictor plates on the intake to slow them down because they were so much faster than everybody else. And they got out on the track and they couldn't even get up to speed. So the engineer made an executive decision and removed some of the restrictor plates, went back out on the track, and when they got back up to speed, USAC pulled them back in again and inspected the car, seen what they did, and they were disqualified. So the two Shelby turbine cars never got to race at Indy, which is so unfortunate. USAC did not like the turbine cars, and they were kind of old school guys, and they just did not like the new technology of a turbine car because they were just so superior to the others. I mean, like I said, direct drive, inboard disc brakes. So you can see the cooling NASA ducts; those are for the brake calipers. And there you see Denny Holmes, owner Shelby Racing Incorporated. What's really neat is the seat, which you can't really see, is the same material that's in that Shelby right there, what they called comfort weave, which was a really nice, luxurious. So whoever did the upholstery work on that thought, oh, let's put that interior in. So. Pretty neat. It would have been. So these are two cars that just never really got completed. An engineer took the Shelby out of Ford before it got destroyed, and of course the Shelby turbine cars went to individual private owners. So it never got off the ground, either one of them. So it's lucky that the Shelby got saved by an engineer and got restored by me. Restored the car in '07, completed it, and it has been shown all over the United States. Very, very rare. These are some images of me lettering the numbers and kind of going over everything there. You see the side number plates that I painted on. Quite the job, but I've done like 14 cars for the Speedway Museum. So I've done this quite a bit before. The last one I just did was a Penske car from 1969, a Chevrolet powered Indy car. So it's been a privilege to be able to do this kind of stuff and have the talent to be able to hand letter these things and make them look like they did back when they were brand new. it was amazing when I did that AMT thing on the side. It was literally a deck of card layout, so it was pretty neat. So proud guy there. So that's me, and that's a good friend of mine that came to pose for the car. He wanted to see it, so. And here's some individual images from. There's very few images of this car at the track, but there's Team Shelby guys. That's Denny Holmes sitting in the car.